Sometimes, the sun is really nicely warm in my room because it's summer and I have things to talk about because normally summers, I have the end of a cycle, the end of a season. So yeah, this year I decided to do a little chat about graduation. So get yourself a really nice cup of tea or coffee and we shall get chatting. It is 8 a.m. I decided to do this early in the morning because if I don't knock this off the park, I will never film this. It will be perpetually on my to-do list. My days have been really consumed by studying. As a little introduction, if you don't know me, or if you just recently arrived to this little corner, I have just graduated medicine university last month. I did 6 years in med school here in Lisbon, in Nova Medical School, which is, I think, the best university that, that you can choose here in Portugal, in my humble experience and opinion. A lot of questions revolve around what's next now, what are your plans for after graduation, plans for the future, just like what's next. Certain things are decided for us. I mean, of course, there are 1,000 different paths that you can take that are not the conventional paths after med school, but here what we do is we are going to take the specialty entrance exam in November and we start working in January to December in the foundation year, and then next year we enter our specialty from the results that we have in this November exam. From now to November 29th, I'm going to be just studying the best I can. I'm so excited for December because it's going to be like my travel month. So beyond excited to have this month to celebrate life with and not have to worry about, the board exam. And then in January, I start working, like I said, as a doctor. I decided that I, for now, want to take this route. If you want to work abroad, you probably wouldn't have to take the exam. A lot of my friends, for example, are already putting in applications. But as of now, I feel like it makes sense to me. I want to work here, even though the conditions for us here are absolutely nothing compared to what some other countries in Europe have to offer. That's why a lot of my peers, a lot of them, are looking forward to getting the hell out of here. And I understand that. I feel like, has it crossed my mind? Of course. When you compare the conditions that you're going to be provided, not just in terms of monetary compensation, the working hours, the expectations of work here is just tremendous. I'm just bounded at the wrist right now. I love it here. I love it here. I love Lisbon. I love Portugal. I feel like I always imagine myself to be a doctor here. It's still a thing that I want to do. Take care of Portuguese population. I love the Portuguese coast. I love it. I love the ocean here. I know, I just always imagine myself living here. And I have my family here. I have a lot of uncertainty surrounding family and myself, and so just leaving is just not even a possibility for me in my head. Of course it is, but for me it's not. And there's also a lot of things that I am grateful to have here. I do have a job offer for me with this degree. It's like an almost certainty that if you want to work, you will have work here. I don't come from social economical background where I expect that. I think we should have better working conditions and obviously salaries and all that. In my naive, innocent mind, I'm picturing myself here in the near future. So yeah, but as of right now, I'm studying for my specialty entrance exam, and then in January I start working. So how are the different university events in Portugal? I don't typically go to these events. I had no one to really explain to me what these events were. I didn't go to an introductory thing here in our university system, which is praxe, which is where freshmen are paired with older students, and then the older person can guide you through university or give you resources and stuff like that. But I never went. I never felt the need to. I don't think it was something that I would miss at all. And so I never really knew what university events or norms were, because here things are very structured. You can wear this uniform if you do this. I had no idea seniors get to wear the uniform different. There's a big world surrounding university traditions. A lot of it is kind of ugly. I do appreciate certain parts of it, but other celebrations and traditions I don't really like, and where it stems from I feel like it's rotten a little bit. I attended celebrations as a kind of a closure. All of the celebrations that I went to don't involve humiliation and stuff like that, like singing stuff or prom. What else did I go to? We go up the stairs of the college, and then someone from your family, I think, or someone special to you, someone will hit you in the head with a cane in your big hat. You'll burn a black ribbon symbolizing all of the bad things along the course that you're just burning and letting go. I didn't purchase the uniform because it's ridiculously expensive. Somehow a friend of a friend was able to lend me. You didn't do, like, I guess, a master thesis. I thought in medicine you would do one too. In our college, we don't have a thesis. We present a final report. It's a roundup of every single thing that we did. So in the introduction, you talk about your goals, what you wanted out of the year, difficulty before, and what you want to do now. In the middle section, you describe objectively what you did in every single internship. Internal medicine, general surgery, we did OBGYN, pediatrics, family medicine, and psychiatry. And in all of those, you described objectively what number of patients you saw, what were the most prevalent diseases or procedures, and then in the final part, you just round up everything and you talk about like things that you did right, things you did wrong, where you can improve, and yeah, that's it. I actually think is a good thing for us to do because we're gonna have to do a lot of these reports throughout our intern years in specialty. We have to write these reports. Now I kind of feel a little bit more competent to write them. I think it's a good idea. Also, it's a lot less work than a thesis where you have to think about it in the beginning of the year. The jury is very nice about it. It's with their evaluation that you become a graduate, which is kind of nerve-wracking. I was really nervous. They ask you 30 questions, you answer, and then like they shake hands with you. It's like really formal. And after that was like my last celebration of the course where we just took photos. I felt so happy. I thought it went very well. They were very nice. I thought I did a very good report. Number one asked question from everyone, from y'all, from my parents. Do you know which specialty you want? I think I'm gonna give the exact same answer that I gave like a year, 2 years ago. I'm still very indecisive to a point where I don't even have a formed specialty in my head that I'm like, this is what I want. I know a lot of specialties that I would be happy in. I even thought before 6th year that I would never go into surgical specialties, but I now understand that even a half medical, half surgical specialty I would enjoy. I would not still enjoy a surgical specialty. And since there's only like a year and a half for me to enter specialty, people think that's a little bit insane that I don't have a more strict plan. Most of my friends already know, which does not help my case. But I feel like I don't feel stressed about it. I don't feel anxious. I don't overthink it. Just know that when the time comes, I'll choose and I'll make a good choice for me. And I'll be really head over heels the specialty. I'll be in love with the specialty because when I get obsessions over something, I get obsessions. Because I like so many things, and because I see myself in so many specialties, it's not something that bothers me because I know that I have a lot to choose from. There are a couple of specialties that I would not like to go. For example, dermatology, pathology, public health are in my bottom list. And yeah, any other specialty I think, I'm like, that's a good specialty. Like there are very good things about the specialty and I would see myself working in it. Oh, and obviously, take out any other surgical specialties like general surgery. I would not like just surgical. I do know that some specialties do make more money than others. Like I'm aware of that. Of course, you need to think about your working conditions, but it's not something that like makes me change my mind about a specialty. Do you feel excited or anxious about your future? I feel excited. There are so many things that are so stressful about being a doctor. I would be completely naive to overlook them. As interns, I think it's more about learning, more treatments, more applications of knowledge than to feel really responsible personally of a patient's care, especially in good teams. Of course, there are bad teams everywhere in any profession, but in good teams, specialists take control of the team and they grow interns into awesome specialists themselves. Suddenly, having to make life-altering decisions for a patient. That does not happen. You are always in conversation with a team of specialists that have years and years of experience, that have seen many cases, and so you're not going to be personally responsible for the life and death of a patient. Even when you get out of internship years and you become a specialist yourself, there's always something new. You're always going to forget something, so working together reduces a lot of fears and anxieties. Been thinking about this for a long time now. Are you going to quit YouTube after graduation? The most that I could do is go like a long time without posting because I'm busy or because I haven't been able to really sit down and edit. But I feel like the passion for filming and editing is still here. I still watch YouTube every single day. I love YouTube. I don't feel like I need to give it up in order to do medicine. What was your experience doing YouTube in university? How did you balance YouTube with everything? My college experience and my YouTube experience are so intertwined. I did like very short videos at first, and then they started to be a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and then it was like a full vlog every week, and then I started to do like study with me's, and then venturing into chatty videos, and it all just built. It's a very cathartic experience for me, and even looking back at my old videos, I find such a good feeling of nostalgia. It's very interesting because I always like to be on the outside of things, just listening to things. I very rarely make my voice heard in a way. I'm very flabbergasted when someone wants to hear my opinion on things. I would rather listen to you talk about yourself. I'm an INFJ, okay? I love to listen to people talk. I love to give advice. The only bad thing about it is that I obviously a lot of times feel unheard. Just having an escape to say what I have in my head, my opinions on what I'm doing or what I'm studying. It was just like a getaway for me to empty my head. If someone would just come up to my channel right now and just see me talk, they would think that maybe I'm a very open, extroverted person, even though I say a million times that I'm not, that I'm not built for that. But in reality, I'm kind of a very reserved person and I don't open up easily. I'm working on being a more capable conversationalist. I'm not. So I never thought that this would grow into what it is now. A lot of viewers have approached me on the street. I am more stressed than you are. Trust. I am more stressed than you are. And it's also like this kind of weird experience where people know stuff about you. You don't know anything about them. So I'm just like asking questions about you. I hope I wasn't too awkward, and I hope that we made a good memory. I don't know. I guess now we can do rapid fire before we close this video. How would you sum up your whole uni experience? I think this is kind of the sunrise of my life. I do see it as a sunrise of very good things to come. This was the stepping stone. I felt myself slowly start spreading myself a little bit. What will you miss the least? I will not miss the competitiveness, the pettiness, the cutthroat behavior. Sometimes, not every time, but sometimes. And the privilege, yay! There's not a lot of diversity in med school. You know, I can say that. I will not miss that. I like places with a lot of backgrounds, a lot of experiences. You just don't want to be a part of a conversation that feels so foreign and so out of touch. I will not miss being a part of conversations where I know that I'm inherently not part of. Like comparing trips that you did around Europe and around the world. I don't want to end on a bad note, so what will you miss the most? I love the feeling of being a student. Learning is something that I really love, and I think I will miss me being a student. Do you have any regrets? I love you too, and thank you so much for everything. I don't think I have any regrets. I think I've done the best I could with the things that I was dealt. You can look at your past self and judge yourself all you want, but at the time you didn't have the knowledge that you have now. And I look at it fondly. I look at it with a lot of joy, a lot of pride. I've made a lot of friends. I saw so many services in hospitals that I had no idea even existed. Growing up, I never went to doctors. I think I went once to see a doctor growing up, and it's because like I literally broke my ankle. Had no experience going into medicine even as a patient. I got to know so many people, so many services. I got to know so many facets of medicine, and so I feel really grateful and really happy for my experience. And I feel really happy graduating. I feel really proud. That's the graduating Q&A, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for every single bit of love and support. Thank you for your questions. I hope I answer them. Yesterday I had a little bit of a mental breakdown because, you know, I looked at the timeline, I looked at the time that I have left, and I felt really overwhelmed. But I just chatted with my friends, and they reassured me that everything will work out. And I do feel like things will work out. Now chatting even more with you makes me feel a lot better. See you soon in the next one, okay?